Hey y'all, happy Monday. This is my review for the Real Housewives of Potomac, Season 9, Episode 10. I'm in a good mood today because this review is on time. I got my ish together. I did my notes this morning. I'm ready to talk about it. Please ignore this iron in the background. I totally forgot to put it up because I was just ironing my work uniform. So please do not be judging me. Like I'll be doing a lot at the same time. I was multitasking. Like I just finished lunch just so I wouldn't be eating on camera because I learned my lesson on Pop Roast. Anyway, this episode was a filler one, unfortunately. So there really wasn't too much to talk about, but you know me. I'm going to try to squeeze blood out of a turnip for y'all to get us, some conversation going. Thank you, Andrea, my mod, for letting people know to like the video. Because if you like what you see, a lot of other people are going to see it, so that's the whole goal. Also, please, I like to read the comments during my live reviews. Please be a part of the review with me as my co-host. And then, most importantly, subscribe to a ninja. Now, let's get into this episode. We open with Giselle, in the $900,000 barn that she lives in. She's talking to her daughters and she's catching up with them, but also talking about, her concern with her late father's will. According to her, it was either forgedly signed. Is that a word? Forgedly? Anyway, like allegedly, it was forged, or he wasn't in the right capacity to be signing like an important document like that. And she wants to contest it in court. I think it's ongoing now. And she said if the will stays in place, she says that her daughters, and I think as well as she, like they won't get anything. So she's trying to get that thrown out. I'm wondering though, was Giselle's mom still married to her father? Because I just wonder, like that, it just doesn't add up if like her mom was like overseeing that. I don't think so. Oh, thank you. Fraudulently signed. Thank you. I appreciate that. But yeah, like I was just wondering, like, is her mom still in the picture or whatever? Maybe not. But yeah, anywho, with her confessional look, I just wanted to give her props on that because Giselle looks really good in her confessional. I mean, it's a rare feat. So whenever I see her looking good, I just want to give her props. Thank you. So her parents were divorced. All right. So, it's always the next woman to be messing around with the will. Look, I want to say some things, but I'm going to leave it to Patreon. That's Chris's business on that. Probably a shady aunt or uncle. I can see that. Yeah, Giselle's fashions and stylings have definitely improved. And I hope we move on over to Beverly Hills, where someone else's fashion can be improved as well. So the next scene, we're with Stacy and her friend of Dorothy, TJ. I love Stacy, but this is a weird ass scene. They're at her bachelorette pad, and he's cooking some DiGiorno pizza in the oven. This is a date for them, and he's squeezing like a neon green sports drink into wine glasses. Yes. TJ is talking to Stacy about feeling abandoned at Wendy's birthday party. Stacy just, submits and apologizes to him for that. I didn't think she was wrong to apologize for that. I really think that she just expected him to, like, maybe talk to the other men. Like, she's at work, technically, like, I'm glad that she isn't the type of woman who always needs, like, a man, at her hand and stuff like that. I'm glad she's not my man. Also, y'all notice when he took the pizza out and was serving the both of them, Stacy put salt on her pizza. I have never heard of that. Please put a hand in the chat if you put salt on your pizza. Because I heard of Parmesan. I heard of crushed red, the crushed red pepper flakes and maybe some oregano, but salt. Where they do that at? I just want to know what part of the United States they do that. He then asks her about her mediation with her husband. She's really mum about it. She gives him a little bit of details. Excuse me. I'm drinking Pepsi right now. I'm kind of belchy. She gives him a little details, but she says what goes on between her and her husband, that's really between her ex. She then tells him that the ladies advised her that, after leaving a 16-year marriage, she shouldn't jump into like another serious relationship. And she just wanted to know what TJ thought of that. TJ really don't mind. Like, I feel like he's just there for the ride with her. And she also asked him, would he still date her if she decided to see other people? And his response is like, he'll still care for her, but, he won't close his options either. I'm just like, Ninja, what options? Men? Because I'm like, what other woman going to deal with this, with what you're giving? I don't know too many women that would. Stacey admits that the answer that she wanted to hear from him was, no, I want to be with you, but the best TJ can say is like, I want you to choose me, but you don't have to. Afterward, I was just like, girl, run fast as you can. Just run. I don't get it. I really don't. I'm waiting for the season to progress to give us a little bit more insight on this weird relationship that they have. Because it's giving Lavender right now. Let me see what some people are saying. Did you catch in the clip that he told her to go mingle when they got to the party? Then he want to be mad later on. A clown. I didn't catch that actually. Why was he talking to Ray about bonuses, about his QVS job? Let's see. TJ is giving male gold digger vibes. Yeah, I saw on social media somebody said that was probably his first, like he's only eating when he's at Stacey's house. That'd be his first meal or something like that, because he's a grifter. When I was in Paris, they did salt in pizza. Never heard of it in the US until I traveled. It's surprisingly good. Brings out the flavor even more. I mean, pizza is already unhealthy. I don't want to make it even more unhealthy by adding to my high blood pressure already. TJ is so weird to me. Bro was really upset that Stacey mingled at the party and left him alone, which is like, duh, it's a party. If you're that lonely, then don't go. Right. Totally agree. This is an interesting question. What is worse, Kenya's relationship with Walter or Stacey's relationship with TJ? Ooh. They were both embarrassing. Oh, that's pretty hard. I feel like it's very equal. But I feel like Walter kind of embarrassed Kenya a little bit more. I don't know. That's a real tough one. Keisha from Color Me Pink called him William from Girlfriends. Now I can't unsee it. We also have over 100 people in the chat. Well, we did at one point, but make sure you like the video. Just saying, just a little reminder. Let's get back to the review. So next scene, we're with Wendy and her sister meeting her mom for lunch. The whole purpose of this is for her to finally tell her mom that she resigned from her job at the university. By the way, y'all, I don't really like this this ensemble that Wendy has on. Like, I know what she was going for, but it's still a chop. Still a chop. Like I did not like it. And I just keep saying that her fashions are just so contrived, you know? Like I don't know. Anyway, because she looks good like majority of the time. But it just seems like I'm like, okay, why are we wearing this to this occasion? Anyway, so some time goes by and she tells her mom she resigned. The first thing her mom says is, "Are you crazy?" She says but Wendy says her plans are to, maybe stay home a little bit more with the kids, maybe focus on her YouTube show, which only is active when Potomac is on the air. Like, because she just stops the whole YouTube thing when it's not on air anymore. And at the end of the day, she still does have her 4 degrees, so she can do whatever she wants with them. We also find out recently, that she has this new gig at a university where she's teaching like reality TV or something like that in that realm. So that's good for her. And I feel like maybe this is something that she's actually interested in to teach. Because I was always wondering, does Wendy actually like to teach? Because you really have to like it. Her mom is eventually accepting. We cut to her confessional and she's saying, you can be who you want to be and not be, who your parents want you to be. But just in the last episode, you were chastising your own kids, saying that you require a master's degree out of them. So you're continuing the cycle that your mom imposed on you. So which is it? That's what really kind of made me side eye her on that, because you're doing the same thing with your kids, requiring, you not only need a college degree, you need a master's degree too. And I agree, you would want to have the best for your children, but the way you're saying it's required for you, or you won't get anything any money or anything like that, then yeah, you're kind of forcing that upon your children. So the next scene, we're with Ashley and Giselle doing a speed dating activity. Now, this is truly a fast forward, but I'm gonna go through a little bit of it. The man that sat with Giselle at the end, I was just immediately I knew that was her type. Immediately. And then Ashley, I'm not surprised by her choice because she loved herself a white boy. And I also think it's funny that, how much Candace and Ashley don't get into it. They also have the same taste in men, low key, high key. Also, I'm a little confused because didn't Giselle and Ashley go on a dating show after this? So I'm guessing the men that they chose with the speed dating thing, they didn't really last that long. So, when she was on Watch What Happens Live, she said she's still talking to, she didn't say the guy's name, but she said from the speed dating thing, she's still in contact with him. So I'm just wondering, which is it? So then afterward, next scene, we're with Karen and Ray at their house, and she's talking about her incident. Y'all know what I'm talking about. And she's saying that she was in an emotional wreck that night. She was so angry at Ray. She didn't think they were going to make it together. And, she was just feeling a lack of support from him. But she's saying after the incident, Ray has been super supportive, like she was for him, during the whole tax thing. So, he should be supportive and be there for her, but I don't care what Karen says she was going through that night. You made a choice to drink and get drunk and get behind the wheel to drive. You cannot put that on I was feeling away. Because that won't stand in court if you unalive somebody with your car. I was feeling emotional that day. I was really mad at my husband. I was thinking about getting a divorce. They're not going to care about that. You're going to go directly to jail. So I'm just saying you could have unalived yourself as well. I just need some accountability. I get that, she can't really say much, y'all, but I think it's even worse that it's just so many excuses. And I love Karen, but the accountability here is just non-existent. And right, it just felt like she was putting that on Ray. And I'm just like, how does Ray feel about that? Karen ain't for throwing Ray under the bus and blaming him for her mental state. Yeah, because that's what I was getting. And for seasons now, like even like around when Charisse was on, she would allude to Karen having a drinking problem and her being driven by Blue Eyes in the first place. So yeah, I don't know. Oh, this is a different take. I respect all opinions. She has to build her distress defense. Karen's time on the show this season is all to build her defense. As much as I love Karen, she should have taken a step back this season. Right. And then I was really perplexed when her lawyer said, well, this is what we wanted to happen. We wanted to delay the trial. And so far, it looks like it's not going on in her favor because now we know that there's video footage from the body cam that she doesn't want released. And it's just only a matter of time, y'all. Only a matter of time before that video leaks on TMZ. And I guarantee you it's not going to be in her favor. I don't feel Giselle or Ashley were interested in any of those men and just want to get people hyped for their dating show. You're not slick, Bravo. Giselle and Ashley fast forward best fiends. I mean, it almost was, but I just was like, let me just cover it. I think she talked to Ray and said, look, I got to give them something. So I'm going to say we had a problem in our marriage and Ray just played his part. Ray has been playing his part a lot. I mean, he's a good man, Savannah. Oh, Lord. Next scene, we're with Kay meeting up with Mia, of all people, for coffee. So first of all, I thought this scene was just a little weird because I'm like, this is the last person I'm thinking Kay would be bonding with out of like the main cast. And they were just recently going at it. And then secondly, she arrives in her man's work shirt from the social whatever office it is. He's in social work, his practice, or whatever. But I thought Kay owned her own business. Like, what about that? We haven't heard about that the entire season. I mean, she said it runs itself, but can we go and see? Like, can you give us some proof, sis? Like, I thought her specialty was in beauty, And she's not talking about that. And it's just like, oh, so now she's a mental health expert giving advice to Mia about Gordon? Like, she even admits that she's not a professional. Like, I don't think just because, you filling out, like, organizing paperwork and keying around the office that, you have, like, experience with mental health. That's all. But yeah, it's hard getting through this scene also because I'm just over this plot line about Mia and her pimp village. I really am. So then Kay asks Mia about the paternity of her son, and Mia says that she will be taking a test. But then she says she thinks Gordon's the father, but then right after that, she says her son is just like ink. See what I mean? Like, you see what she be doing? That's why it's just like, I don't want to hear any more of this because all it's going to do is like hurt your children when they see this. And like you really playing with your family for a plot line, and it's not, I don't know, it's something just real foul about that because there's kids involved. But yeah, the scene ends with Kay offering Mia tools like to deal with Gordon's mania whenever it happens. And there's another thing. Whenever Gordon disagrees with Mia or puts her on Front Street, it's always, oh, he's having an episode. He's having an episode, So I'm just like, I mean, some people were saying Mia's doing elder abuse. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying this is what I heard people say. And I just, this is nice of Kay to help Mia, but I did not expect her to just, be on this show as a walking billboard for her man's practice. So anyway, well, let me see what y'all saying. Karen is lucky that Rob isn't on this season. She would have brought on Charisse to call Karen the town drunk. I'm glad Charisse isn't on this season, by the way. Kay was way over her skis on this one. Skis? Y'all said this scene is lame. Remember last episode, he told her that she needs to come in uniform? Oh, I mean, good for you. Good at catching that. I didn't even catch that. I guess she took that advice. I'm starting to side eye Kay. Let's see. Kiarna is bringing absolutely nothing. She can skedaddle. Exactly. That's how I'm feeling so far because we're halfway through the season now. And allegedly, like when I was on DJ Richie Sky's channel, go see that if you haven't seen it. But allegedly, something goes on with Kay that bumped her up to flute, and we haven't seen it yet. So I'm holding out. Mia may have left that pole, but she's still out here hustling for some change and going real low with it. That's been Mia's shtick since her first season, playing with her family for a plot line. First, it was her mom's business, then it was her marriage, and now it's her kids' impossible paternity. True. Well, yeah, I mean, that's true. I mean, I never said anything about, the correlation of her being Black and her doing that with her man's practice. But I'm just like, I want her to have her own identity. And she said she had her own business when she was like a friend on the show. So I want to see her business. I don't want to see her man's business. That's nice. She's volunteering or whatever she's doing. But I want to get to know Kay. And I feel like I don't know much about Kay, but like, what her man does, So then next scene, we're with Ashley and her date with this white boy. He's 30 years old. There seems to be chemistry, and she likes that he opened up to her about him being a cancer survivor. The date ends with a kiss, but I feel like Ashley is looking more for a provider. And this whole situation, it looked like she's just trying to have some fun. So the next scene, we are now ending another episode with Mia and Gordon. And like I said, y'all, I'm tired of it. I've checked out, but I'm still review a little bit of this scene because I got to have something to talk about. Because I told y'all this is going to be a maybe short review. This time the kids are in most of this scene. Her kids at least know that the parents are getting a divorce, which is good to me because, when I was 10 years old, my parents sprung that divorce on me and blew my mind. Blew my mind because they didn't tell me nothing, that they were having problems or anything. They were having problems for a while. Didn't know that at all. And yeah, it will fuck up your children. Just saying. Mia and Gordon are then talking to them about marriage in general. Their daughter asks, how did they meet? And the son wants to know, but where? Where did you meet? And they give them the G-rated version. They met at a club. And that's all she tells them. We then see the daughter whisper to Gordon, like, what if mommy marries Ink? And then later she even tells Mia that she can't marry Ink. Mia, she hears her daughter, but she says she'll understand when she gets older. I just feel bad for the son personally because his paternity is being debated on the show, and he's eventually going to see this. So I really feel for him. So then after the kids leave, Gordon says he feels like they need to have another conversation with the kids, and he's worried about how it'll make them view marriage and relationships. Mia then tells Gordon that, she met up with Kay and saying that maybe they shouldn't be living in the same building. And I feel like, well, you don't need a professional to, tell you that. So, I mean, I agree. I don't think they need to be living in the same building. And then she tells Gordon that Ink said that she needs to put up boundaries with him because she's not emotionally available to him because she's so focused and worried about Gordon. Gordon is just listening to all this. He isn't reacting in his usual way, getting her together, airing her out. And that's probably because the kids are present in the home. But we then cut to Mia's confessional saying that she needs to finally get a divorce and stop worrying about Gordon. And then that is where the episode ends. I was just like, huh. Well, all right. I mean, it's just always a lame episode if it ends with Mia and Gordon. I'm just tired of it. So before I go, talk about the episode itself, let me just see what y'all saying. I hope Greg isn't just using Kay to promote his business on TV. I hate to admit that Candace was right about Mia being a lady of the night with her big feet. Mia is declassing the show. Is there a doctor's evaluation on Gordon? That is a very good question. I agree. I'm sure the producers have helped to push the plot. This scene was cringe. The little girl shook me. Yeah, it's just weird having the kids in the scene. Giselle says she is still seeing the guy from speed dating. Yeah, I saw that, but she didn't say she was still seeing him. She just said that person is still in her life. But I'm just like, okay, well, you did a dating show after it. So are you just telling us that you didn't find love on a dating show? We can all have our opinions about Mia and Gordon, but I'm glad that the kids spoke their truth. They want their mom and dad, not mom and DJ Applebox. Well, we still got to find out if DJ Applebox is the father of one of her children. Let's see. The way Gordon took off the mic pack when the scene was done had me cracking up. I didn't even see that part because I was just so focused on the next scene, the previews. You said this episode was a chop. Yeah, I believe I already mentioned that Karen's assistant passed. It's very sad because this just keeps happening to Karen where she's losing important people in her life. I felt like she lost her father, her mom, and then, wasn't it her grandmother? I can't remember, but definitely she lost her mom, but then, she lost Matt. I'm pretty sure she's going to address that at the reunion. Sorry, had to step out for a bit. I've said before that I'm a psychiatrist and Gordon does not present as someone currently experiencing mania. Interesting. So now, y'all, this is just what I thought of the episode, before I, log out and start my day. Definitely thought this was a filler episode. And, I'm not going to be too harsh because every season, well, except for Salt Lake City because they're hitting it out the park, no filler episodes there. But I feel like there's going to be a filler episode or two in a season. So it's whatever. The next episode looks fun. And it's actually a group scene too, which I also wanted to point out that this episode was mainly focusing on the women either individually or maybe it was one or two of them at a time. No group scene. I think it really hurts the show when they don't have a group scene in an episode. I'm also, of course, I'm going to keep saying this till my face turn blue that I'm tired of Mia's storyline. It's just giving borderline exploitation, something for her to be on the show. I think she should be on Love and Hip Hop, even though Andy, the way he started short-circuiting when Giselle brought that up to him, or the same way when I asked him about Kenya being on the next season of Atlanta, he was just like, what? No, she's on Bravo. Well, you don't know that, sir. Maybe she's in talks with Love and Hip Hop because Ink lives in ATL, don't he? So, yeah, get rid of her, though, please. This needs to be Mia's last season, for real. And then, Kay is a flop so far this season. I want her to, prove me wrong. But we're 10 episodes in. I feel like we only got maybe about 5 weeks left until, the season finale. So I'm not sure what she could do in 5 episodes to prove me wrong, but we shall see. And then last but not least, probably my least favorite episode so far. I would give it a 6 out of 10. Again, it was just a filler episode, but the reason why I gave it like such a low score is because they ended the episode again on Gordon and Mia. Anyway, let's see. Evidence by way of the number of times Mia's violence against Wendy and her accusations on Chris that she rescinded, as well as been brought up and used against her, as well as the decision to amplify. Mia and Ashley's last season's pleas. Yeah, I feel like once Ashley gets her divorce, I feel like that's it for her. Like she needs a little break like Robin did. I think we will know the father by season's end, and it's probably going to be Gordon. It's not going to be shocking. She was just using her kids as a plot line, which I think is not great. But yeah, y'all, thank you for your comments. That was my review. Please let me know what you thought of this episode in the comments, and maybe bring up some things I didn't catch. As always, also, for the Patreon, I got y'all. When I get home, I'm gonna edit the Ask C Diggy. I did it right before the Christmas party, but Sunday I was hungover the entire day and I didn't get a chance to do it. So that will be up hopefully tonight because I get off pretty early. So yeah. Anywho, with that, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see